Hey, you guys, Coach Liz here. All right. This week we are in Element 19 in your life book. It's all about sleep. Now, I want to talk about sleep because it's such an important habit of health. It's one of our high five healthy habits. Sleep is one of those core habits that we need for a healthy lifestyle. Now, in a couple weeks, we're going to be talking about supplementation and what supplements can help you. But one thing that I always say about supplements is there is no supplement that you could spend money on that will outdo or replace one of your high five habits. These are your core habits that really don't cost extra money, that are just like basic habits that you need to be doing. Sleep is one of them. There's no supplement that can replace a good night's sleep. And so just focusing on those main core habits are really what you're going to see help you with lasting long-term results. So we're going to talk about one of those, healthy sleep, today. So healthy sleep is such a core habit of health. We were designed to have a third of our life unconscious in sleep. And it really is the time that our body needs to rest and repair. It is the time that your body detoxes. We're going to talk about inflammation and things that cause inflammation next week, but it is the time that your body detoxes from inflammation, but also toxins that we eat or ingest or breathe throughout the day. Your body is really working to detox during the night. And it's actually when your body releases the most fat is when you're sleeping. And so if you are having a hard time seeing the scale move or just not having energy, you know what? Sleep is probably one of the things that will make the biggest difference. And in Element 19, Dr. Anderson talks so much about sleep, how to improve your sleep, how to make sure you're getting enough, and just really how to tap into unlimited energy. And one thing that he talks about in this element is your bookends. And so I'm going to talk about that today. Is what is a bookend? A bookend is how you start and how you finish your day. It makes or breaks your day. And so being intentional in the morning and at night really makes a difference for the whole rest of your day. So let's talk about that. How can we set up our lives for success in that hour before and at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day? So first, let's talk about the beginning of the day. So Dr. Anderson talks about how important it is that our beds are designed for sleep. That's mostly what we do in our bed. And so it really trains your brain that when you lay down to sleep, you'll be able to fall asleep faster if you don't hang out in your bed a lot. So when your alarm goes off, just getting right out of bed. Don't push the snooze button. You just train your brain that you get right out of bed when the alarm comes. He says to open the curtains and have a routine in the morning of how you start your day. Might be 10 minutes of meditation, breathing, prayer, getting some water in, some exercise, having a plan for the day, just really setting yourself up for success. And then that last hour of the day before you go to bed, he calls your twilight hour. It is your preparation for sleep. So just like a baby or a child has a bedtime routine, we as adults need routine. It really helps us to get a better night's sleep. So have that routine. He talks about how an hour before bed, we should turn off blue lights. So turn off the TV, dim the lights, maybe have soothing music. That might be when you take a hot bath or drink a cup of like herbal tea. I personally like to set myself up for the next day by doing some of those things that are important so that my mornings run smoother. I pack my kids' lunches. I set out my gym clothes. I get my EAAs and my water ready just to grab in the morning. So I make it so that my mornings will run smoother. I like to write down what I need to get done the next day so that when I get into bed, I can just turn off my brain and really get a good night's sleep. So check out that element about how to start your day and end your day better. So that is my challenge for you is, of course, read Element 19 in your life book about how to get better sleep and how much sleep you need. He goes over all of that, but I want you to focus on your bookends. What is your routine of what you do first thing in the morning, before you get started during the day, and then your routine of that hour before bed? How can you set yourself up for a better night's sleep? And then also planning ahead so that you know what time you need to go to bed to get that 7 to 9 hours of sleep that you need. So I get up in the gym to go to the gym early. So I know that I have to be in bed between 9 and 10 to really feel good the next day, to be able to get up early and just feel good. So figure out what time do you need to be in bed to get the sleep that you need, and then how can you set yourself up for success? And then one last thing, he does talk about staying in that routine. So even on the weekends, just training your body that you get up at the same time, that you're not sleeping half the day on a weekend and then during the week getting up at a different time. So if you can sit with a schedule and stick with that schedule of what time you get up, what time you go to bed, sometimes it's going to vary a little bit, but creating that routine so that your body can get into rhythm and really work more efficiently for you. All right, I hope you have a good night's sleep tonight. Have a good week.